Is absolute certainty possible? That would mean certainty is an absolute.
So psychological certainty is a sliding scale. I think epistemic certainty is binary. It's an absolute, isn't it? You either have it or you don't. So that's where they differ. I could be 100% psychologically certain of something, but suddenly realize I was wrong and lose that certainty, and in fact maybe make another belief. So psychological certainty is tied to a belief, and it's talking about the strength of belief. Epistemic certainty is when something definitely is the case, it's true. So if we're talking about base 10 math, 1 + 1 = 2. I mean, there you go. That is a form of epistemic certainty there. So I'd say, yeah, you're sort of right that a type of certainty is an absolute, as in you do or you don't. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. I mean, you can have absolute certainty in anything, but just because you have absolute certainty doesn't mean you're actually correct.
Indeed.
Like, you can be absolutely certain that your parents are such and such, and then when you reach 60, they die, and you find out that you were actually adopted. So
Yeah.
absolute certainty is possible depending on the angle that you're coming at it from.
Yeah.
If you're saying, can we be absolutely certain that something is correct and be correct at the same time, then yeah, I would say so. You could be absolutely certain that your name is such and such, because that's what you've been called since you were a kid. When you get older and it turns out that you were adopted and your name is actually such and such, well, that's not actually correct because your name is what you go by.
Yeah.
So whatever you're going by is your name, and you can have absolute certainty that that's your name.
Yeah. And there are some people who take an almost ridiculous stance on it, in the sense that I can say I'm absolutely certain that I'm having a sip of water. And they could turn around and go, well, what if you're in a simulated universe and you're not actually, it's just data, you're not actually doing anything at all. In that sense, you know, the only thing that you could really have absolute certainty about is the fact that you're thinking. You know, that's the only thing you could really ever have absolute certainty about. But I tend to be a little bit more pragmatic, and I go, well, even if it was a simulated universe, within this simulated universe, I am absolutely certain I'm drinking water. It doesn't matter if it's actually just data. In the parameters of my life, my experience, I'm absolutely certain.
Yeah, the qualifiers, they might alter things at the base level, but they just add contextual particularism to the statement that you're making. But the more general statement that you're making is embedded in whatever context it's being mentioned in.